In today's Thirsty Thursday video, we're going to try out a new product. Welcome to Thirsty Thursday. I'm Mark. This is the Average Meat Channel. And today we get a little bit of bonus because we are going to make more than one cocktail, because the goal of today's video is not to learn how to mix a cocktail, but to try out a new product. And the product we're going to try out is this Magcheer cocktail shaker. Well, what's the matter with our tried and true shakers? We have our Boston shaker here, right? You see me use this quite a bit. We've got our strainer shaker. You've also seen me use this. A lot of advantages. You can measure with the cap, and once you shake, you can strain it automatically if you'd like. Well, I think there are a lot of advantages to this shaker. So let's open it up and take a look. And then we're going to see what it's like to actually mix a cocktail with this. So when I received this, and I might as well say right now that the company did send this to me to have me review this on the channel. I was really impressed. First of all, look at this carrying case. Isn't this awesome? It's got this little handle. I don't know where you're going to grab this and carry it around, but it really is pretty classy. When you open it up, on the top, you can see there is a muddle tool. There's a couple of pour spouts, and there is a cocktail mixing spoon. So there's right away a lot of accessories with this. But the product is not those accessories. The product is the shaker. So let's take a look at this shaker. And I will say I am not here to do a commercial for this. I am going to do a real review. So if I like it, I'll let you know. If I don't like it, I'll let you know that as well. So first of all, the cap screws on, which I really like, and there is a gasket seal underneath there. So it's very unlikely to leak. And the same thing with the main lid. That screws off. There's a gasket here. And by the way, this does come with an extra gasket. I don't know how many times you'd have to screw and unscrew this before you'd wear out that silicone gasket. But nevertheless, it is there and you get a replacement. So right away, I feel pretty secure with this. You know, you can shake the daylights out of this thing and that lid's not going to pop off. It's not going to leak. So that's quite an advantage and a benefit. But one of the things I really like about this, if you watch my channel, you always see me shake this thing, and what's the last thing I always do? Ooh, that's cold, right? This is not going to get cold because it's insulated. So this is insulated, you know, sort of like a thermos. So I'm pretty excited. Now, when you open this up, this is actually a measuring device. Now I know with this you can measure with this top as well, but this has so many more measuring divisions, and it goes all the way from 1 ounce all the way up 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, and so on. So you can actually measure with the inside of this, and that's what we're going to do here today. We are going to make a cocktail with just the shaker. We are not going to use our measuring tool. So let me get some of these things off the bar, and then we'll start with cocktail number 1. So for our first cocktail, we are going to make an Orange Empress. Now, we've made the Orange Empress on this channel before. It's one of those cocktails that's kind of near and dear to my heart because I visited the Empress Hotel in Victoria, British Columbia, and it was quite a memorable trip. So we start with Empress Gin. Empress 1908 gin. This is kind of a purplish blue gin, so it does add some nice color to the cocktail. We are going to use some elderflower liqueur. We're going to use triple sec. We're going to use simple syrup. And finally, fresh squeezed lemon juice. All right. I know that I always talk about having the freshest ingredients, and here in South Florida, I really should be using a fresh lemon, but I looked at my lemons and they didn't look particularly fresh, so I thought today we're going to go with bottled lemon juice. I apologize. I don't think it's going to change the drink that much, although it would be better if we used fresh squeezed lemon. All right, so let's get going. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to put some ice in our shaker. And oh, by the way, the glass we're using today, this is a family heirloom. I wouldn't be surprised if this particular coupe glass was nearly 100 years old. It has some beautiful etching on the glass, so I better make sure I don't break it. All right, we're going to start with 2.5 ounces of the Empress 1908. Now this is great because I can see it's like a graduated cylinder inside there, only it's not a cylinder. You know, it has kind of tiers and steps inside there. So it's really easy for me to see where that 2.5 ounce mark is. And this cocktail is really, ooh, I almost knocked that over. It's real easy to remember because every other ingredient is simply 1/2 ounce. And the 1/2 ounce, I'll talk a little bit about it later, but in here the 1/2 ounce is pretty much just the shaker lid. And I'll talk about why that might be problematic, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. So we have a 1/2 ounce of the elderflower, a 1/2 ounce of our triple sec. There we go. Half ounce of fresh squeezed lemon juice. Oh, this is crazy. I have to show you something. Talk about fresh squeezed. There is actually, look at this. There's a lemon seed in here. I can't believe that. I don't know, I'll just dump it out in the bar. I'll wipe the bar down later. Isn't that wild? And 1/2 ounce simple syrup. Put that in there. I gotta be careful. I'm seeing another piece of lemon seed. Isn't that wild? Holy cow. What in the world? What is that? That's crazy. All right. And now we're going to shake the daylights out of it. I used to say shake it until I can't hold on to it anymore. That's not going to be a problem with this. It's not getting cold. I could shake this all day long. But I know that it's chilled inside at this point. And of course, we have the built-in strainer. So it's a simple matter to strain that out. And look at that. Isn't that a beautiful cocktail? Now, if I was going to garnish this, I would garnish it with probably a lemon wedge. But let's get the taste. Oh, that is good. It's so crisp, and you certainly are getting the gin because that's a primary ingredient here. But you're getting that citrus, you're getting the orange, you're getting the lemon. Yes, oh, it tastes flowery, so there's a little bit of a floral essence coming through. This is really a good cocktail. And just look at that color. Isn't that going to look just beautiful when you serve that? If you serve it in a fancy glass like this, you really have something. But let's talk about the shaker. Do I like it or don't I like it? Well, If I were a bartender and I were making cocktail after cocktail after cocktail, this might seem a little cumbersome, right? With all the twisting and untwisting. If my hands were wet, although this is knurled at the top, I could see it maybe turning. Those are all very minor. For a home bar, I think this is beautiful for a home bar. If all you are is a home bartender, I think you're going to love this. Now, I did sense one drawback, and that is when I was measuring using the cap. For one thing, it's etched inside here, and it really is kind of hard to read the measurements. Now, if you know where they are, if you get acclimated to it and you get used to it, you're going to know where the measurements are, because it does have stair steps in there, so you'll know where each of the steps are. If you get the right angle to it and the right light, right now all my light's coming from the front because I got studio lighting here, so it's a little hard for me to see. Also, the half an ounce, it says right in the bottom, 0.5 ounces. Well, because there is that strainer there, that's a strainer, you don't see the liquid until it just reaches that that strain there. I don't know if I'm being really clear, but so what happens is the liquid's already coming over the top before you realize, oh, I've reached that point. So if you're not very, very careful, you could overmeasure the half an ounce. Having said all that, I think those are minor points. You can still measure with a traditional measuring device, or even a shot glass if you want to. I think it's really nice for the home bartender to not have to do that. Everything is contained right here in the lid. This would be as easy to wash as any other shaker. Just rinse it out in some hot soapy water and you're done. I love that it has all of these rubber seals so nothing leaks. I had no worry that this was going to come off. And I have had my shaker leak before, where I've not sealed it properly, I wasn't holding on right, or I was coming here and the lid flew off. I've had all of that happen. It's never going to happen with this. So I think on that front, it's, for the casual at-home bartender, I think that it's a measure of security. It looks great. It comes in this wonderful case. It has a lot of accessories with it. So overall, yeah, you're probably not going to see this at your local tiki bar or any bar for that matter when they're knocking out maybe 100 drinks a night. They're just getting in and out really fast, and they're using that Boston shaker and they're dunking it in water to clean it and then right back to work. But if that's not what you're doing, you're the home bartender, I don't think you can go wrong with this. I'm going to link it down below. You can get this on Amazon, and it's a great product. I'm going to be proud to use this at my home bar. As always, I encourage you to like and share the videos. Leave your comments down below. If you haven't already, please subscribe. And don't forget to ring that bell icon. That way you'll know when I post new videos. Thanks for joining me. I'm Mark. This is the Average Meat Channel.